Hi, welcome to Get a Clue Casual Gamer, where you get a clue, CLUE, about a game. And those letters stand for C, components. What are you going to find when you open this box? L for length. How long does this game take to play? U for uniqueness. Does this game remind me of something else I might have played? E for ease. How easy is this to learn, teach, play? How easy is it to find? How easy is it on your pocketbook? Okay, now, if you haven't, yesterday I recorded a response to Tabletop Tag, but if you've been looking at my videos each week, you'll notice that my background is very different than last Thursday's video upload, because I have moved, and all of the videos that have been coming up on YouTube for the last 2 months were pre-recorded. I knew that as soon as I knew I was moving, I knew that I had to record some videos on games to make sure that I was able to keep putting up 2 videos a week while I packed my games and packed my house and cleaned the house and pods and truck and move and unload, and all of that happened. And so today is the 4th of July. I went digging in my containers, because most of my clothes are still in containers, for one of my old 4th of July t-shirts from Old Navy. And this one is actually 9 years old, and you can tell I lost a little bit of weight last year. So anyway, I am still in the process. You can see on the floor here in boxes, are games that I've been unloading or opening up, and I'm putting them in color order, trying to decide if I want to put them up on shelves on both sides of me in color codes or size or mechanics or whatever, alphabetical, I don't know. I'm going to try, I think, to do them in color, and that's why they are in rows of colors right now. But being the 4th of July, I figured I would do a game that has something to do with the U.S. I don't have too many, and I have one that definitely has to do with the U.S. history, but it's outside of the casual level. And so I decided on Early American Chrononauts. Okay. Oh, my dog likes to look out the window, so the window is open, and that's kind of like what you're seeing reflected in my glasses and on this, the light from outside. But Chrononauts, Early American. There is a regular Chrononauts, but we're going with the Early American one. It's basically the same, except that all the cards have to do with early American history. So let's get a clue about Early American Chrononauts and Chrononauts in general. So C for components. What are you going to find when you open this box? You're going to find cards. That's what's, comes in a box, and it's a bunch of cards. But there's all different kinds of cards. And so I brought it out. There's a lot that have this backing. These are the cards that will be in your hand. And they can include things like artifacts, or a gadget, or an action, or a time warp, or an inverter, or a patch. That patches history. And so these are all the ones that have this on the back. But each person is going to have a mission given to them, and there's all these different missions. So you're going to have one of these missions, and for you to win, you have to comply with this. In other words, have these 3 items in front of you to win, but you can also win in a different way. You can have an ID, which you will also have, and you'll have several, I think, but you'll have these 3 events, these 3 years with these events, and if you can get them to show up exactly that way at the same time at the end of your turn, you can win the game. Those are the ID cards. And then there's a separate game called the Uber Chrononauts, and they will use these old gold watch cards, which basically say you have a 10 card hand accomplished and whatever. But that's for a separate version of the game. It's different play. And then you will have these cards. And these cards, the purple and blue, they will, let me show you. The purple ones are events that are called linchpin events. And they start off one way, and if they get paradoxed or changed, they get turned over and something different happened. And then other ones that aren't linchpins, but they are paradoxes. And when this happens, you have to, it tells you, like, if you change this, over here, change that, then you have to, this happens, you turn it over to a paradox if if you use this one or change this one to something else. It's, yeah. Just know I'm not teaching the game. I'm just giving you an idea. But these cards are basically the board. They get laid out in a grid, and the other thing in the box is the rules. And these cards are the ones that are laid out in that grid. And every game that you play of Chrononauts, Early American in this one and regular, will have a grid of blue and purple cards that are technically your board. This is what you're working with. And that's all that's in this box. A bunch of cards, but they have different things that they do. L for length. The game takes about 45 minutes, whether you play it solo or against each other. It takes about 45 minutes. It will play like 1 to 5 players. I want to make sure on that. 1 to 6. Okay, it plays 1 to 6. They say 20 to 45 minutes, but no, it's 45 minutes, yeah. Because it takes a while to do all these flipping of cards and finding paradoxes and changing some things so that you can try and win. And yeah, I'd say 45 minutes. So length of play, about 45 minutes. Uniqueness. It's a card game, but I don't know of any other game like this. It's a way, I'll say, because these events are, they go from 1773 to 1916, or actually 1770? Yeah, 1770 to 1916. So if you're trying to learn early American history, playing this game over and over again, you'll start picking up on the dates that are used in. So you can use it as a teaching tool. But uniqueness, I don't know any other game that's really like this, other than the fact that it is only cards. And you'll have a hand of cards, but it's not like anything else that I know of. Ease. How easy is it to learn, teach, play? Well, the rules, I always go by the rules. This is the main rules. And this is a timeline example on that. And then on the back, we have some questions and stuff. And then solo mode, a quick artifact, it's called artifacts mode, and then the Uber Chrononauts. So these are 3 variants of the game. So basically this here are the rules. So it looks quite basic, but it does take a little, I mean, it's easy to play, it's not easy to win. Let's say it that way. It's easy to play, but it's not easy to win. Because you're constantly changing things and trying to get 3 events exactly like it says here is, while somebody else is trying to do these 3 events as it can, you know, one is changing something and no, I needed it the way it was. Yeah, it's easy to play, but it's hard to win. Okay, easy to find. It's not the easiest to find. It came out in 2004. So, but Amazon does have the American Chrononauts. Someone's selling it for a little over $18. It's the whatchamacallit, the retail price is $20. So they're selling it for 18 and change, 18.16 I think it is, or 18.40. It's not. Yeah, it's just over 18. And somebody on Amazon is selling the original Chrononauts, which is world history, for a little over $21, but that's over retail. So I went and checked. Miniature Market does not have them right now. Game Nerds has the original for just about $14. So that's $6 off of the original. Not, but they don't have the American, the early American version. So right now Amazon has it. Game Nerds and Miniature Market don't. But if you want to get the original world Chrononauts, then I would say Game Nerds is good because easy on your pocketbook. It's going to be, it should be under $20 because that's retail. And right now, Early American is just over $18 on Amazon, and Chrononauts is just at about $14 on Game Nerds. So take your pick. Whether you want the Early American one or if you want the world version. It plays the same. You'll have a bunch of Chrononaut cards for your deck, and you'll have a board created by blue and purple cards. Some of them will paradox and some of them will change history. So yeah, that's about it for this game. It's simple, but can be frustrating trying to get, using the cards you have in your hand to change the history that you need to have changed and not change the history you don't want to have changed. Now, I did talk about these games in a video I did on that I called Don't Know Much About History, and it's about different games that that you can use to learn history, or to use a fun way of kind of like slowly getting some history information into your brain. So if you want to watch that video, it was a few months ago. Don't know much about history, but this one is All American Chrononauts, and that's about it for now. And happy 4th of July for those Americans. And I know earlier in this past week it was Canada Day, so happy Canada Day to Canadians and my Canadian branch of the family. And hey to my British side of the family. It's like that we left behind a couple hundred years ago. But yeah, so Happy gaming. God bless you and your family. Until next time, which should be this coming Thursday. Bye.